Grishuk against Nepomniachtchi ended in neither variation.
And Carlsen Mamedyarov, we see right now on the camera.
I think it's another Caro-Kann in Carlsen Mamedyarov. I think it's another Caro-Kann and another exchange variation in the Caro-Kann by Magnus Carlsen.
Interesting that he once again goes for a, well, solid opening.
Right.
Is this knight e5
no, it's not.
A sideline?
Or it is, yeah, it is ready taking on d5 and going knight f3 is a sort of a sideline. And this early knight e5, isn't it surprising? I mean, breaking
Yes.
all the opening rules, you move your piece for a second time. And
In just
Shakhriyar
5 moves, 2
yeah,
moves with
Shakhriyar
the
is
knight.
certainly surprised with that. Shakhriyar is certainly surprised.
But I think that's a good idea, because if you go for the usual setup with bishop d3, castle c3, all that sort of stuff, of course Mamedyarov knows about it. So Magnus wants to create something innovative on the board as soon as possible.
Okay. And yeah, Shakhriyar spent some time and played a7, a6, preventing bishop b5. But the move itself looks like, you know, not the best move in the position, because white is not forced to take on c6. White can play c3, bishop d3, castle short. Knight e5 is certainly a useful move in this type of a Carlsbad structure. While a6, you never know.
So I think we can declare that a6 doesn't seem to be the refutation of knight e5.
Yeah, absolutely.
As Magnus Carlsen very focused, he can still become a world champion if the others don't win, because Magnus has the worst tie-break score. I can't even pronounce tie-break score. Yeah, I managed.
Yeah.
So yes, he must win, and the other players shall not win their games in order to declare Magnus Carlsen winning yet again a World Rapid Championship. It will be the 3rd time that he wins.
3rd consecutive time, not to forget. Yeah, that's impressive, really. But yeah, there are many ifs to this assumption.
And I think the biggest if is Vasily Ivanchuk, who is supposed to face the weakest opponent.
So Ivanchuk is white against Hrant Melkumian. Yeah, and we might claim that Ivanchuk got a lucky pairing, even though...
But it's lucky because he faced everybody else already.
Yeah, well, if we check, actually, by a rapid rating, Melkumian is rated number 14 out of the whole field.
So...
Ivanchuk himself is 10, Grishuk is 12. So it's not such an easy opponent after all.
No, not at all. So, shall we go one by one, switching between board 1, 2, 3, 4 all the time?
Yeah, I think so. And look what the move Magnus played. It was c2, c4. So it's
creating an isolated pawn position.
Yeah, so some special line he probably prepared for this. I mean, it's quite interesting what's gonna happen, but it's really unusual. What can I say? Now it looks like a Panov, once again with not a typical move, knight f3 and knight e5. Really surprising. Okay, so we go to board 2 then.
Yes, we shall come back to this
against
later.
Nepomniachtchi. And here we have, well, for those bishops to be activated.
C5
played first of those 2 moves.
And b4, going on the queen side, a4, b5.
a4, b5, trying to progress quickly on the queen side, which also makes sense. But it gives seemingly black a chance to play f4, to swap one of those 2 double pawns. Not sure if he needs that. Might play bishop f6, trying for a pressure on d4. At least it's a tense game. It is. Yeah, the position is not, not dry, not equal.
I guess that's all what Magnus Carlsen wanted from the opening.
Right, but Mamedyarov, I don't think Mamedyarov
no, he doesn't
can be unhappy. Yeah,
both are happy here. Both can play.
Anyway, you cannot become a champion. None of these guys can become a champion with a draw.
Yes. it's a must-win for both players, or basically for all 5 players.
Absolutely.
Grishuk Nepomniachtchi has also progressed, so there's
They're also heating up. So what to do for Mamedyarov? I'm not sure. He cannot capture on b5. That's the main problem.
So it was b5, 8 takes 8.
He probably has to. I don't know if he did. No. Now bishop f6 was played, which gives white a possibility to go there to have a protected pawn on b6. Still not sure if Magnus will go for it, but it's a very important positional factor, of course, in the long run. Otherwise, what can he do? He can try to take there and pretend he's winning d5 pawn. Not sure. So probably rook b1. Queen takes, I assume, and then queen c6. Yeah, with 2 bishops, it's not that easy because the position is getting open. And can white really hope for a win? I'm not sure. After b6, you create a long-term positional factor. That's kind of important. But on the other hand, you have to find the reaction after queen's retreat. Queen e7, d7. Tense game as well. Magnus Carlsen against Shakhriyar Mamedyarov. Grishuk seemed to have a comfortable advantage, beat everyone. But even though I couldn't believe he will win he would win the tournament. Yeah. So
Ivanchuk, who started the day being the leader, then he was beaten. He was not the leader until just now, until the penultimate round. After his victory, his a bit lucky victory against Vishyanand in round 14, he once again joined the leaders and he won his game. He has the best tie-break score. He is the champion of the World Rapid Chess Championship here in Doha, Qatar. Wow! So who will be second and third now that we know the champion?
Magnus, well, look, Magnus must be winning. I'm not sure as always, but I think he must be winning here. Rook d6. Magnus can play rook rook h8.
He just wants to promote his pawn.
Rook h8. Right, he wants to give a check on c8, kick the king away.
Oh, rook g1.
So it's rook g1, check here, king has to go away, king b4, and king f4. Well, it's still tricky, because those connect passed pawns are still alive. So we might end up
having
being
rook
again
in
rook and bishop against rook. A stuff that we've seen on
rook and knight, rook and bishop.
Yeah, we've seen many times already. How about rook g2 now? What's the trick after rook g2?
And if bishop d3, you mean rook d2 or e2? Just simply
there is
e2.
no e2, but there is rook e8. I keep forgetting there is rook e8. Then it must be.
The pawns drop, and the g5 pawn doesn't seem to be dropping.
Yeah, and rook c4 is a threat.
Yeah,
so
no,
it's
this is winning.
Probably Magnus is winning as well, and this will be an outstanding result by Magnus Carlsen, but still not enough on a tiebreak to overtake.
Not as good as Vasily Ivanchuk.
Yeah, that's incredible. So let's check Grishuk and Nepomniachtchi, because this seems to be clear, while in Grishuk's game I'm still not sure.
Wow. They're at first place in Doha.
Yeah, Magnus, you had a great final few rounds, but this time it was just not enough.
Yeah, it wasn't. I mean, after that horrible first game today, I did everything I could. But, you know, kudos to those who did better than me. Especially Ivanchuk, of course. It was very impressive.
Yeah, 47, of course, chess legend, been around since the 80s, and now he's winning a world title.
Yeah, it's amazing, 30 years at the top, and I mean, against me he played incredibly well. He outplayed me. I don't know how he did in the other games, but if he played half as good as he did then, he certainly deserves to win.
Right. And of course, you had 3 days where your start was not great, and then you had to try to catch up. Any explanation for why you kept on struggling?
No, I don't know. I mean, even today I felt I wasn't. I didn't feel that I was ready for the first game, and I mean, even though I was winning after the opening, I just, blundered, which was unfortunate. But
what do you mean with not ready? You were tired, or you were just not?
I just didn't feel fit for fight for some reason. And then, I mean, each day ended pretty well. I mean, I made 8.5 out of 9 on the last 3 games on each day. So, but it wasn't. I mean, you cannot expect to win such a tournament when you lose 3 games. I mean, that was just one too many. So I mean, there were many hiccups along the way, and it was just not enough.
Okay, and you had 3 days to warm up for also another tournament, the Blitz. Do you feel you will be ready for that one as well?
Yeah, I hope so. So I think basically my play hasn't been that poor. I've just been starting badly, but I mean, there's nothing fundamentally wrong. So I'm optimistic.
Okay, thanks a lot for your comments. World champion Magnus Carlsen, but not the world champion in rapid anymore, because that is Vasily Ivanchuk, 47, Ukrainian chess legend, of course. But Magnus had some very nice words for Ivanchuk about their mutual game, so it's good sportsmanship from the Norwegian as well. Back to the studio.